We are in Uganda. We are out of Kenya. We have crossed the borders and we are in Uganda, Kono Balala. If you want to know what is a greenhouse, how many types of greenhouse do we have? If you want to know what type of plant do you grow in a greenhouse, this is the video for you. Today, I want someone else to take you through this technology. People who are knowledgeable about this technology.
Structure will be chosen depending on the weather of particular site location. It may be the case that in different locations this structure may not work, so there will be a different structure based on the climatic condition.
I want them to introduce themselves. Then after that, we go into it because guys, you will love the experience. And if you want a greenhouse to be constructed for you, you know the people to call. So let's go to the video.
My name is Jitendra Singh and I am from India. My company name is JH Agri Infra Projects LLP. I am the co-founder and MD, managing director of the company. And we are into greenhouse business. We manufacture, we install, we supply. We are working in 14 countries right now, including 8 African countries like Somalia, Rwanda, Tanzania, Botswana, Namibia, the Gambia, Ghana, Senegal, right? Mali. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Hardik. I'm co-founder and CEO of JH Agri Infra Projects LLP from back in India. We are doing projects of greenhouse and irrigation services across the world. We have worked in several countries of Africa and Gulf as well. So do contact us if you need a greenhouse.
Today, I'll guide you about this technology. I'll brief you. I will let you understand about this technology. Okay. First of all, this kind of structure is called naturally ventilated greenhouse. Why we call it naturally ventilated greenhouse? Because the ventilation inside is naturally. Fresh air will come from the side walls of the structure, okay, and hot air will come out from the top. If you have seen from outside, the structure is like this, okay. So the gap between the structure is for the hot air to go outside, right? So this is why this structure is called naturally ventilated. On the side wall there is a net, we call it mesh net, or some people call it anti-insect net. It's look like a mosquito net, right? So visible insect will not come inside because of this, but it can allow to pass the air, okay. And on the top of the structure, this is polyfilm, we call it plastic film. Plastic film is beneficial if it's raining, so rainwater will not come inside, and also the light will be diffused, means the sunlight will be break into diffusion, so light will be diffused inside the structure, okay, clear. Now third point, this is trellising system. These are the trellising twins, okay. Trellising system to give the vertical support to the plants. So each plant is supported by this type of trellising twins, okay. These twins are not perfect, but yes, we can continue with this. So you can see here we have done grow bag system, we call it grow bag system. One bag, one plant. The bag is filled with the soil and manures, organic manures like cow dung and other things like vermicompost, right? Covered, mixing with the soil, and one bag, one plant. So this plant is not connected with the soil directly. So if any disease found in any plant, you just need to remove the bag outside. This is it. So one disease will not pass to other plants because of they are not connected directly, right? Now this is capsicum. Color capsicum, you can see some are getting yellowish, there also. So first the fruit will come in green color, and then it change the color into yellow or red. Why this is required? Because climate is uncertain. Temperature sometimes go high, it's raining too much. So we need to protect our crop from all these climatical factors. It is also beneficial to control the pest management inside. If you go outside and see, there are so much insects, many insects. But inside the greenhouse, you can see the very much control of the pest inside the greenhouse. So why this is greenhouse? Because we need to control the pest, we need to control the climate, we need to protect our crop from the climatical factors, and also you can accommodate more plants in less area, right? You can accommodate 3 plants per square meter in vegetables, and you can get more yield as compared to the open farming, right? Each plant can give you minimum 4 kilo to maximum according to your take care. So you can get quality yield with good quantity. This is what I, now over to you.
So when you overall see a greenhouse, contains some basic components. So you can segregate it like, first one is a structure, the greenhouse structure. Now second thing, irrigation system, and third thing, growing system. So greenhouse is a structure, a house for a crop basically. This structure is greenhouse. Now this is with, as Jitendra mentioned, this is with polyfilm and insect net. So that is one part. Currently we are in the rainy, means we are in the area which rains a lot, or say a moderate, depending on the season. So to control rain, we need to choose a plastic cover structure. That's why this structure is here having plastic on top. We need ventilation, so sides are insect net. So structure will be chosen depending on the weather of particular site location. It may be the case that in different locations this structure may not work, so there will be a different structure based on the climatic condition. Second thing, this structure is having top covering, side covering. Apart from that, the ground is also covered. So the ground is covered with weed mat. We call it weed mat. So basic function of weed mat is, it is a plastic based fabric which do not allow weed to grow, because the ground and soil is fully covered, so weed do not get any light and supplements to grow. That is the first thing. Second importance of weed mat is, it do not allow a ground insects to come from beneath. So that is the second thing. So weed mat is that much important. Now coming after the greenhouse, the second component is irrigation system. Here we have manual irrigation system for this, but it is ideal condition to have a drip irrigation system for greenhouse for such vine crops. These are the vine crops, the crops which can be used by trellising system to go and binding by twines. So these are the vine crops. Vine crops usually handled with drip irrigation system. So the only thing you need to do, you have to connect one drip irrigation network from that overhead tank, and you need to supply this water by adding some manual nutrients. So in irrigation, the important part is nutrient management, how you will do it. So here in this case, they are adding nutrients directly to the plants like we do in soil based farming. But in most of the cases of greenhouse, whatever water they are irrigating to the plants, they are adding water soluble nutrients into that. So the plant will get each and every growth promoters or nutrients or fertilizers mostly through the drip irrigation system. Here we can do it manually because it is a small area, the small number of plants which can be managed manually. So this system is managed manually. Also there are different growing system. You have seen many pictures of greenhouse with different growing system in internet. So this is, as my colleague mentioned, it is grow bag. So grow bag is a plastic covered bag which is filled with soil media. Nowadays people are reducing use of soil media and utilizing alternate option of coco peat as well. You might have heard about coco peat based farming. So people are using coco peat instead of soil media where the soil quality is not good. Here in your country, by God's grace, the soil quality in most of the area are okay and very fine. So that's why here you can continue with soil media. Why these grow bags are used? You have good soil, but still why you need to do this? Because you want to isolate maximum soil based insecticides and maximum soil based disease you need to avoid. So when you isolate with this media into that particular bag, the soil borne disease and soil borne insects are not likely to attack them because your ground is covered. Apart from that, there is this bag, and in that bag their soil media is, so it is more likely to have a better protection for your crops. Now you irrigate the water and plant will grow. Third uh, uh, third thing is planting system. In the third thing is this trellising system. Apart from this, we can add fogging system in this. If we are having very hot climate, the fogging system will add humidity into the environment. So ultimately it's a controlled environment agriculture, CEA. So in controlled environment agriculture, you can adjust or control natural elements based on crop requirement depending on site location. Why site location? Because weather is depending on particular site, and based on that weather you need to control your element inside the greenhouses. So a smart greenhouse operator will first study the climate, choose the structure wisely, choose their growing system for what crop they want to grow, and later they can design a good structure with good system. So again I am repeating, a good greenhouse project is combination of a greenhouse structure suitable to the weather, a good irrigation system, and suitable crop growing method depending on what they want to grow. Basically the crops are selected based on the market requirement, and other thing, a specific requirement of the customer or grower as well. So this is how greenhouse farming can be done. Now these are capsicums, bell peppers. So red, yellow, and green is by default. If you go for red or yellow, it is by default first comes to green and later they develop their color. Capsicum is usually 8 to 9 month crop. When you do a seedling or say a nursery, after 2.5 months you start harvesting your crop, means you are getting this crop to get harvesting, and later in total 8 to 9th month of cycle you can manage your crop nicely in the greenhouse. So uh, later it's up to you now what, how you want to process this, and if you have any question, please let us know.
What is the best media to use this case generally? Which is the best medium to use for
See, best medium to use is a soil. If your soil is good, you do not need to opt for any other media. Yes, but in your soil also, you can use organic manures like vermicompost and live cultures to improve the quality of the soil. So that you can do. And if your soil quality or say the EC or pH of soil are not suitable for the crop, then you go for alternative options like you can use coco peat, you can use other there are multiple growing media right now available in the market. uh, Pit moss is there, and so many others, so you can use
Vermiculate,
yeah,
perlite.
perlite, vermiculate. So there are different options, but if your soil is good, You just need to improve their health by some organic manures, and it will do the things for you. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. I have learned a lot from your teaching. I just want to know which crops are best for greenhouse. Can we also use long-term crops? For example, this one is a short-term crops. Let me say a short maturity period, like after 2.5 months or 3 months, it will be harvested and replaced with another crop. Now, for the case of like a dragon fruits, it's normal harvested for over 15 years or over 20 years or over 30 years. Is it advisable also to plant such crop in greenhouses?
See, for this crop, this structure is like overgraded. Greenhouse, the dragon fruit can be done with some different system. This guy has some other concept. They are using these empty spaces for the permanent crop. Otherwise, this crop is 9 month dragon fruit is a long term crop. So in general, when people opt for greenhouse, they usually go with capsicum, tomatoes, variety of tomatoes like cherry tomatoes. You can grow English cucumber, you can grow French beans. So these are the short term crops, you can say, but vegetables mostly do in such cycles only. So greenhouse is better used for this vegetable crops. If you want to go with fruit crops, then see, these fruit crops are very hardy. So a small rain or little rain effects will not hurt them. So you need to have a better protection. So instead of this polyhouse, because this structure is covered with polyfilm, it is called polyhouse. If the structure is covered with only net, then it will be called as a net house. So in such cases where your crop economics requires less amount of investment, then these crops can be used with net houses. So net house will be the right option with proper solution. So these things will vary on again climatic condition and crop selection, because you need to take care for the crop economics. You need to earn money, you need to get profit. Yes.
One more point I would like to add. When we are saying greenhouse is a subject. It's not a thing. It's a subject. In greenhouse, there are many different designs, like polyhouse, net house, greenhouse with cooling system, right? Open vent greenhouse, double vent greenhouse, butterfly vent greenhouse, sawtooth. So it's a very big subject. We will cover a small part to explain the greenhouse in the second session, but greenhouse is a subject.
Thank you. Can you explain a little about the greenhouse with the cooling thing?
Yes, cooling thing is like home cooler, right? One side it is with pads, cooling pads, and other side is with exhaust fans. So fresh air will come from that side, right, from the cooling pads. Water will continuously fall on the pads. So pad are like wet, and air will pass from the cooling pads and then come in the greenhouse, and hot air will be taken care by the exhaust fans. So hot air will be outside. So this will how it work.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, thank you very much for the information. Some plants need the insects for pollination, and idea I thought this kind of plant, the green pepper would need insects, but I can see it here and it has fruits without insects. So what happens?
Greenhouse is generally for self-pollinated varieties, wherein pollination is not required. So, Madam was asking that which crops we can do inside the greenhouse. So, most favorable crops are cucumber and bell pepper for the greenhouse, because both are self-pollinated. There is no need of any pollination method, any pollination system procedure.
Say cucumber.
Cucumber.
Yes, cucumber. Cucumber, yeah, cucumber.
cucumber and capsicum. Now, if we go for a tomato will need pollination. In that case, we are
Do manual
pollinating with the manual things, like we use blowers, we use vibrators on the trellising rope, main rope, so plant will shrink and pollination will be done. In the other crops like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, these all are don't need pollination.
Is it cost effective for cabbages inside the greenhouse?
Greenhouse is for the crop management, crop cycle management. You can plan your crop according to market demand, according to the higher price market capturing things, and the main benefit is you can extend your season. Like if you do tomato in open field, maybe your crop will be finished in 3 to 4 months, but if you do in greenhouse, you can take your crop up to 12 months. So this is the main benefit of the greenhouse. You can plan according to your requirement, according to the market, and your season will be extended.
Or we can say it like, again, these things are, means this deciding factors are selection of crop and where you are selling. So I can say that cabbage in greenhouse in Uganda is not viable, but cabbage in greenhouse in Dubai, it is viable.
Is viable.
Because where you are selling and what price you are getting, they are not growing it naturally, so they are getting it from the other countries. They have some put some money to import it. Now if they are getting production in the local area, cost of production will be high, but they are selling to the premium market. So if the prices are 10x, then you can put investment of 1x, so then it will viable. So again, that will be based on the crop market where you are selling. If you are getting that value is good, then you can invest good. That's how it's doing. Otherwise, cucumber and bell peppers are the first choice for the greenhouse growers.
I am giving you one more small example. We are already working in Rwanda, your neighbor country, right? So we are supplying greenhouses to the farmers in Rwanda. Recently, in my last visit to Rwanda, I met one farmer. He was from eastern province of Rwanda, right? He has a greenhouse size of 14 by 40 meter, so almost 560 square meter. He is growing bell pepper, yellow and red, and he is getting somewhat around 8 metric ton production in one cycle, 8,000 kilo in one cycle. This is the magic of greenhouse.